Wembley! Wembley! All the Coltsy boys are off to Wembley. What?
Football.
Football and
soccer.
Wrestling this weekend. Welcome to your AEW All In predictions. Currently on the channel to get your appetites whet. 9 pitches for All In at Wembley Stadium. You'll have live reactions over the weekend and what happened at. But the important thing now, Lord Ross of Tweddell.
I want me belt back. I held it for one show and lost the bloody thing. I've lost my touch, Tom.
Yeah, you want to get your touch back.
Yeah.
See if you can find that bad touch as we predict what's going down in Wembley Town.
First up on 0 Hour, which is 2 hours long, we have Kris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway taking on Willow, Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. The winner chooses the stipulation for Willow versus Statlander at All Out. Who are you picking and why?
This feels like one for the baddies. I feel like Stokely Hathaway and Kris Statlander are picking up the dub here. I'm also going to go out of my way to say that I think somehow, some way, Stokely is getting the dub over Ishii.
Well, I don't know if we should go into Collision spoilers, but something might have happened like that on Collision this week.
Yeah, I think it's right that we have the heel, certainly have the gimmick match advantage going into the next pay-per-view in 2 weeks' time. Who have you got and why?
I'm going for the heels as well. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Singles match is currently Kris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. Is Desmond 2-2 on the scoreboard? The next person to win takes it to 3-2. The heel picks the stipulation. The babyface gets the win. It writes itself.
The Casino Gauntlet match. The winner getting a future opportunity at the AEW World title. Who you got and why?
I am scared if anything else happens to what I'm about to say. If Hangman Adam Page doesn't win this match, somebody will actually die. Therefore, I'm going to pick Hangman Adam Page. Did you see him last night, Tom? He wheeled a suitcase over the limp body of Evil Uno just because Evil Uno said he was in the match and therefore could get in the way of Hangman getting to Swerve.
See, all I saw was a cowboy running scared from Jeff Jarrett. That's all I saw. And a booker too frightened to put that match together watching you. I do believe that Hangman Page and Jeff Jarrett will meet in that match like star-crossed
I don't think it's going to
lovers.
happen, you know.
Don't say
You
that.
forget about Jeff.
But hey, in terms of who is winning, of course, obviously there's a lot of surprise entrants in this match, you know. And when you think maybe a surprise to win it all, life is a mystery.
He's gone for it.
Everyone must stand.
Madonna to appear at Wembley for the first time
I hear you call my name, and it feels like I'm picking Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Orange Cassidy is such an unusual outsider, even though he's clearly earned his stripes in getting a shot at the world title. I know that he'll be a divisive persona in wrestling forever. I think they might just stick him in the main event picture and just see what jazz happens.
And he's number 1, which is the spot you want to have in this match because you have the chance to end it while it's a singles match.
I feel like having him there at the beginning and then having him win the whole thing, I think. I'm going to go orange on this one. Orange is green, as in go, for me.
Next up for the FTW title for the World Championship, we have the champion Chris Jericho taking on Hook. Who are you taking and why?
You're going to hate this. I think Jericho's winning. I know all signs point to Hook picking up the win at Wembley, but this character of Jericho's is so rotten that I feel like they're just going to ruin that life for us for a little bit longer. I think something will happen that will see Hook get heat back. Maybe Taz puts Jericho in the Taz mission.
Oh, stop it, Tom.
That'd be quite nice. But I think somehow Jericho's just going to scuttle away with the FTW title a little bit longer. I know, but I don't like it as much as you do, but I don't think Hook's winning it.
I simply cannot wait for this match because for the second year in a row, Fozzy or headline in Wembley. I get to see Fozzy live. Jericho does Freddie Mercury for the second year in a row. And while it is unfathomable that Chris Jericho could go to Wembley Stadium, wrestle at Wembley Stadium, and lose for 2 consecutive years, I'm going to go for Jericho to lose. Surely, at 130 odd days, whatever his reign is currently, surely the time is now to give Hook a conclusive win and maybe move him on from the role he's in now. Surely, Tom.
I'd have thought that, but I feel like I've pressed the disaster button there.
You can see it happening though, because if there's one thing Chris Jericho has, it's Tony Khan's ear. And Tony Khan likes to do what Chris Jericho wants to do, as we're seeing on TV each and every bloody week.
If only Jericho wanted to book Jarrett versus Hangman Page. I wouldn't be as angry as I am today. The AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. The Young Bucks defending against FTR and the Acclaimed. Who you got and why?
It's one of those matches that's a flip of the coin. So I flipped a coin, a three-sided coin only available in Hungary, which I've imported into the UK, and it came out with a Young Bucks victory. I have no rationale for it whatsoever. I'm going to go for the Young Bucks because they are arseholes, I believe. Tom?
Well, I think the Acclaim did that really nice promo. I feel like we could see a title change.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's steam behind them.
See, it's funny, steam comes and goes and turns on a dime. That doesn't make sense. I feel like they're the outsiders in this one. They're the underdogs in this one because Young Bucks and FTR had that banger last time.
Yep.
I think Acclaimed are little dark horses in this one, and they could. The trios title did nothing for them. Next and nothing for them. How is it that someone wins a belt and becomes even more invisible on a roster? But I feel the tag titles, there's still some unfinished business for them there. I'm going to say give it to the underdogs.
It's a flip of the coin.
It's a flip of the coin.
A three-sided coin.
It does not write itself.
Next up, we have the AEW Trios title London ladder match. The Patriarchy, the champions, taking on the Bang Bang Gang, the House of Black, and the new team of Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and the great Yuta himself, Wheeler Yuta, which is how Pac will say because he's from Newcastle. Tom, who are you taking and why?
Oh, this is a tough one. But I think the Bang Bang Gang. I know. Obviously, there's a special love in our hearts for Geordie Pac, but I feel like the Bang Bang Gang have some, again, like with other champions, unfinished business with the belt. And I think this is a nice way to get it back in their possession. I think the Patriarchy don't necessarily need them. I think maybe you could use them to redevelop the Bang Bang Gang. I think that having this other new team of Pac and pals is just there as a distraction. I'm picking the Bang Bang Gang. Who you got?
I had two schools of thought for this one, Tom. Either Jay White comes back and helps the Bang Bang Gang to win, or this Wembley moment that I want to have this year because it was stolen from us last year. I don't know if me translations put on the bottom of the screen there, but Pac said his Wembley moment was stolen last year. It was. He's going to have a Wembley moment this year. So him getting in this match at the very last moment to get up the ladder and win. It's only the trios titles. Who gives a toss anyway if they're a brand new tag team? Anything can happen in the World Wrestling and AEW. So I'm going to go for Pac to get his Wembley moment, him be the one to climb up and win the thing. And maybe he joins the BCC good and proper. He would fit.
And if he doesn't, you can blame Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Football. The TBS Championship on the line. It is Mercedes Moné defending against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Who have you got and why? Oh, you're right. You having a moment?
Oh, that's what we're going to see at the end of the match.
What, you doing a seductive dance?
No, that was me playing the part of a very tired Mercedes Moné after she comes out on top and wins against Britt Baker. Who are you taking and why, Tom?
I think you give it to Baker, you know. I think we put this on DMD.
Just because we're in London and there's a Baker Street.
Maybe.
Tom Baker from Doctor Who once went to London in 1973.
I could see Moné and Baker back and forthing with the titles somewhat. I could see this maybe being the start of a series with them. I think Baker to win it. I think it's a nice beginning to that story. Maybe in 2 weeks' time you run it back and you have Moné win it again.
That is the thing, isn't it? With matches like this, we've got All Out in 2 weeks' time where they could retcon decisions they make on this card. I just think Mercedes has been everywhere with that title, photographed everywhere. Why would they stop that now, eh? Why would they, Tom?
That's true.
Come on, join me, Tom.
Your seductive dance is somewhat making me change my mind.
CEO.
But I'm gonna stick with it. I hope you're doing it at home.
Next up for the AEW TNT title in a coffin match, we have the champion Jack Perry and his lovely new title belt, Tom, taking on Darby Allin. Who are you picking and why?
See, because he's got that lovely new title, I don't see why he's losing it. He's just had it all done up all nice.
Yes, but it would
like a proper heart attack moment for him. God love it.
I do like how he got suspended, and then in that little gap there, he took up smouldering, or whatever that process is called. I'll go down the mines.
Is it forging?
Oh, I don't know,
something like that. He did look like he'd been down the mines. But I think Jack Perry keeps it a bit longer. I think Darby's got a date with Destiny, Grand Slam. And there's been conversations today, and this is kind of what's made me turn a little bit. Conversations today about possibly making Darby Allin a future world champion. You may not believe in that theory. You might not think he's the right guy to do it. But if that's what top brass are thinking, that's what top brass are going to try and do.
I believe in Darby Allin.
Clap, clap. So I think Jack Perry's keeping it. Who you got and why?
I'm sticking my neck out on the line because of some news that came out. You can always trust the dirty sheets. They never tell us false information. Do they, Tom?
Never.
They never
We are
tell us.
always right.
Aggregators are the pawns to their whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm going to go for Darby Allin to win because I can picture the spot where the coffin, which is not made of real glass, and therefore you can't see inside of it, it opens up, and who's inside? Who's going to be in London this weekend?
The actor Christopher Timothy.
Incorrect. One more guess.
Timothy Chalamet.
Incorrect again. It's going to be Sting.
Oh, Sting!
So Sting, it pops out the coffin, helps his little friend win, and we all have a jolly gothy time.
And they all sing Roxanne! That'd be great. That's the one you mean, isn't it?
Oh no, not Gordon. I meant the wrestler.
Gordon
Sting.
is a moron.
Not Gordon from Hexham. I meant, the Sting, the wrestler.
The
one.
Sting.
Yeah. The one that used to go duh, 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 and he was like, ooh, I'm silent now, I don't talk at all. And then he's like, whoa, I'm in the wolf pack, that guy there. 10 years later, by God, I'm a Joker. God, I've seen that film once, it's great. No, that guy, not Gordon.
Can somebody clip that and just like the career of Sting?
That's a total career retrospective.
Complete retrospective. It's done. The AEW American Championship. It is MJF defending against Will Ospreay. Is wrestling coming home, Ross?
It is coming home twice in 1 week. Zack Sabre Jr. last week, Will Ospreay this week. It's all set up for a big crowd-popping victory. If they do anything else, there might be a riot inside Wembley Stadium. There won't be. We'll just boo very loudly. But still, Ospreay for the win. It's got to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna prove myself to be a silly Billy because you know how I made that fuss about how Jack Perry just had his own custom belt made, so therefore he can't lose it.
Oh.
I think MJF's losing this. But I think that belt was made to be lost to Will Ospreay at All In. I think that was the whole point of this whole thing, to give a big title-winning moment for our boy Willie at Wembley. So I think MJF is taking 3 seconds on the floor for Will Ospreay. They're going to have an absolute banger. I don't know how they topped the match that they had on Dynamite, which went nearly an hour.
Get the kid involved.
Yeah.
Ospreay's stepson, I believe that's the right term to use, potentially. I don't know. Get him involved. Top rope, 450. Let's go.
450 off Will's kid. Alicia Toot does a springboard senton. Let's just get everybody in there. But I think it's Will Ospreay, as do you. Winning back the AEW title and then maybe renaming it the International, or maybe the UK title.
The UK title, therefore proving once again that the UK is better than America.
Yeah, and we spell colour correctly.
Next up for the AEW Women's World title, we have the champion Toni Storm defending against that no good evil lady. It's Mariah May, everybody. Who taking them why?
Now, throughout the year that we've been doing predictions and live reactions, I've just said Toni, 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 Toni. I can't say Toni anymore. I think this is the full stop on the incredible sentence, the fantastic story that has been Timeless Toni Storm's first Women's World title reign. It's Mariah May that takes it. I think it's something that we called the moment Mariah May turned up.
Yeah.
I don't think we called it in the way in which it's been played.
Not as vicious, no.
No, not as vicious, and certainly not as delicious. And I think that this is the moment where we see Mariah May assume the role of the new Toni Storm until Toni Storm seeks revenge. Who you got and why?
As you said, that feels like every single title defense Toni's had this year. It's been very predictable that she's going to win because the opponent she's been up against has not been on her level. But Mariah May, whether it be in the ring just kicking people in the head really hard, or in the promos where she's proven to be an equal in the silly bollocks yet dramatic yet very serious yet shambolic ways that Toni Storm is, she's the equal, so she's going to win. Yep. Mariah May for the win.
2 Mays.
Nigel McGuinness will cry and ejaculate in equal measure. I always have to do that, Tom, and I don't know why. I always get halfway through saying it and I try and stop myself and I can't. Much like Nigel when he's watching Mariah May.
Oh, bless. And your main event, the career of the American Dragon, hangs in the balance. The AEW World title on the line. Swerve Strickland defending against Bryan Danielson. Who you got and why?
My mind was changed last night on Dynamite when he said, I am the effing best wrestler in the world. The best ever. 20 years it's been now, said Bryan Danielson, and that made me a believer. I think Bryan Danielson will get the job done. I think the Good Riddance promo package with your Green Days and whatnot, I think the whole, I don't want to win the world title because my daughter's a Terminator, it's all been a ruse, and he'll get the win because it just feels right, okay? All right, Tom, is that fine for you? And I think the lingering threat of Hangman, while he might not get involved like in a physical capacity, maybe he shows up and distracts Swerve, which sets up something at All Out. I think all of that put together, Danielson's the winner.
I think in any other circumstance, I would say yeah. But Bryan Danielson's the sort of guy that would probably want to retire on a stage like this in front of a crowd, a European crowd that absolutely embraced him in his early formative years. Biggest match on AEW's biggest show of the year, and going out, putting over a talent that is going to carry the company forward. I think all of it does genuinely point to Bryan Danielson having his swan song at Wembley Stadium, and I think Swerve does it. And you know what? All jokes aside, like we've been so bit caught up in like the prep and getting everything ready for what's coming up this weekend and all the work that's going to be going into it. It only really dawned on me this morning that Bryan Danielson's genuinely one of my favourite wrestlers of all time, and it looks like I'm watching his retirement match on Sunday at Wembley Stadium. Like live there.
It's a sobering thought, isn't it?
As a fan, that only hit me this morning. I went, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's losing to Swerve. Much as I love you, Brian. I think Swerve's getting past you. I think AEW is Swerve's house now, and Bryan Danielson is about to be removed.
It would be wonderful irony if Jeff Jarrett, who you're in love with and might be stalking with, quite frankly, if he's the one who gives Danielson the pep talk that sees Danielson win and therefore makes you lose predictions. That would be a wonderful twist of fate. A lovely full circle moment there, Tom.
It would make me fall out with Jeff Jarrett again. That's a very total non-stop arsehole thing for him to do. But those are your AEW All In predictions. Now, let us address the elephant in the room, Ross Tweddell. Now, both you and I are going to Wembley.
Yes.
So therefore, we will not be doing live reactions. No, we're not going to stream in the stadium. Shut up.
I paid my own money to be there. I'm not even there for work.
And I've paid Cultaholics money to be there. I'm not there to work. But we're not going to be there to live stream it. So we will be having live reactions for you watching around the world at youtube.com/cultaholics/live. But we have enlisted in the help of some stand-ins.
Stallions as well. I mean, I had to pick someone who has the Kavorka of eye, svelte, tall, handsome, luscious locks, all the things ladies love to look at. So therefore, obviously, I had to go for Pacitti the party boy. I forgot his name there. It's Adam Pacitti, everybody.
Oh, so your stand-in is Adam Pacitti.
He's fighting on my behalf, fighting for the rights of every Ross.
Well, when I looked to who I could choose to step in to my shoes, I turned to, as a Campbell, a fellow Scotsman. Somebody who gave me the run of my life for this title for the last year before you turned up once again, back once again with the ill behaviour. So it's only right that I ask Fraser Porter to step in and step up and step on with this on the line against your stand-in Adam Pacitti. So,
I think I've won.
Well, that does the predictions are what will decide it rather than the stand-in.
No, it ends in a shoot fight between Fraser and Adam, and then the winner of that gets
Why don't you tell me that?
Sorry.
I've made a terrible error. So there you go, live reactions with Adam Pacitti and Fraser Porter during All In from Wembley Stadium live. You'll have what happened afterwards as well. But get yourself in the mood watching 9 Pitches on the channel right now. And of course, all the news that takes place coming in and out and around of Wembley Stadium will let you know at cultaholic.com. This is going to stay here. I'd say it's coming home, but baby, it's been home for quite some time.
Oh, you bastard.
Love you, bye.
I've turned it to Joe Pesci at the end there.